Welcome everyone to the Lifeline Tournament Grand Finals hosted by WorpeX Racing. If you're unaware of how this tournament worked, this was a 128 car tournament with multiple players selecting cars to sponsor and use lifelines to get them into the Grand Finals. Here we are looking at the bracket of the 9 cars that have advanced to the Grand Finals. They are seeded by strength of schedule. We've got 2 cars here first. They're going to be Supercomp Dragster and Snake. Supercomp, which is seeded number 9, has probably the easiest schedule coming into this. It lost to a car that isn't even in the top 9 here. The Demon, kind of a weird loss for the car, but he's still here. Other than that, the only big win that Supercomp has had in this tournament was against Shadowjet, and everything else was kind of a good win, but not amazing. Snake, on the other hand, is sponsored by Hot Wheels Calgary. He lost to the Diesel Boy, who you'll see later, and has had some big wins in this tournament against the Chevy Flash Cider, Lamborghini Estoque, and a couple other ones. HSC, also a pretty big one. So let's get into the race. Alright, starting off with a little bit of an upset. The number 9 seed Supercomp Dragster will move on to face the Cadillac V16, but we're going to move on to the bottom of the bracket first with Way Too Fast against Speed Shark. Way Too Fast has yet to lose in this tournament, but this finals is single elimination, so it doesn't matter now. Speed Shark lost to the Cadillac V16, but had an amazing upset last week where it defeated Turbulence, who was sponsored by Big Poppy as well. Way Too Fast, on the other hand, defeated Turbo Flame and Silver Bullet, who are in the final 9 we'll see later in this tournament. So let's get to racing here. Wow, a massive upset. Speed Shark defeats the undefeated Way Too Fast to move on in this tournament, and that's going to throw off everyone's bracket. Big surprise there. Well, now we're going to find out who's going to face off against Speed Shark, and it's going to be between Silver Bullet and Hammerdown. Hammerdown is sponsored by myself, WorpeX. Hammerdown has had many lifelines used on him to get him this far in this tournament, including the Rebuild Lifeline, which brought him back after 2 losses. He lost to Turbulence and Diesel Boy. But the Turbulence lost was not actually hammered down. It was an FTE upgrade match, which the FTE ended up losing. Anyway, Hammerdown's had some big wins, but nothing major. The big one last week was against the Taurus Stalker. Silver Bullet, however, has been wrecking and doing really well. He lost to Way Too Fast, who we just saw lose, but does have a few big wins against Retroactive, GTX1, the Ferrari F40, and Shredster as well. So let's see if my car can move on. It does not. Silver Bullet will move on. Next up is Turbo Flame up against Diesel Boy. They both lost to one of the 2 undefeated cars. Diesel Boy lost to V16. Turbo Flame lost to Way Too Fast. Both have big wins on their belt. Diesel Boy beating Hammerdown, who just lost. Snake, Taurus Stalker, El Rey Special. Turbo Flame beating the Ferrari F40, F150, as well as the Baja Bug, just to name a few. Let's get racing. Clear win for the Diesel Boy, as he'll be up against the winner of the next match. It'll be the Cadillac V16 up against Supercomp Dragster. Now, we've already seen the Supercomp Dragster. He beat Snake in the first match of this tournament. Now, the V16, though, we have not seen yet, but it has become the favorite now that Way Too Fast has been eliminated from the tournament. So the V16 has already defeated the Diesel Boy earlier in the tournament, also defeated Turbulence, Retroactive, the Speed Shark, HSC. These are massive names that it has defeated throughout this entire tournament, so it's going to be tough to take down V16, but we've already seen some major upsets, so let's see what happens here. The V16 made that look very easy. We're now down to the final 4 competitors in this tournament. Next up, we're going to see the Speed Shark, who just had the huge win against Way Too Fast, up against Silver Bullet, who just beat Hammerdown. Silver Bullet, sometimes known as Aero Flash. I like the Silver Bullet name better. So let's see what happens here. Winner goes to the Grand Finals. Very close win for the Silver Bullet. That was back and forth all the way. Next up, we got Diesel Boy up against V16. This match has already happened earlier in the tournament, and the Diesel Boy did not win. So, a little bit of a revenge race for him. Let's see if he can beat the V16 this time. Our grand finals is set. It is Silver Bullet up against the Cadillac V16. And let's just take one step back and realize we went through 128 cars, double elimination for every car. And we're about to go down to just one car remaining, the fastest car in the tournament. Let's see which car it'll be. The Cadillac V16 is the winner of the Lifeline tournament. Also, big congratulations to the sponsor of that car, Hot Wheels Racing, for being the best sponsor in the tournament. Thank you everyone for tuning in and watching, and thank you all those who participated and sponsored a car. It's been a lot of fun. I am your host WorpeX, and until next time, thanks for watching.